Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NXT Level Up from August 5th, 2022. And this week's episode starts with a tag team that from people who've been around for a little while now, NXT a long time, and have respect for each other. So they should be a good tag team. It is Dante, Chen, and Guru Raaj. So they come out to Dante Chen's really cool music, and this will be their first time tagging up. Their opponents tonight will be Bryson Montana and Damaris Griffin, and this is about their third or fourth match together. However, Guru Raj and Dante Chen have definitely been in the PC a lot longer, will know each other longer than Bryson Montana and Damaris Griffin. But Griffin and Montana are both Texans who were both big in Texan high school football, so they have a common bond. Guru Raj and Bryson Montana are going to start the match tonight. Raj then is able to take control and tag in Dante right away. They use some quick tags here and some double teams to start the match perfectly for the much smaller tag team here, Guru Raj and Dante Chen, both from Southeast Asia. So Guru Raj from India and Dante Chen from Singapore. Bryson then uses his massive power advantage here to catch a springboard attack and then slam Guru Raj down hard. Damaris Griffin now tags in and gets a few quick pins here for a 2 count. And the crowd cheers for Guru Raj to fight back. Griffin then shuts the crowd and the Guru Raj down with a big choke bomb. So big move there from Damaris Griffin. Guru Raj is able to kick out at 2, and the crowd gets loud again, but Damaris Griffin shuts them down with a big slam. So Montana tags in, hits some nasty elbow strikes here, but this just wakes up Guru Raj, who hits a big strike, but the much larger Bryson Montana is able to absorb the strike and take control. Bryson then applies a neck crank, and Raj is able to strike himself out and hit some big kicks to free himself, but Guru Raj Guru Raj is able to counter the next attack and tag in Dante Chen. So then Dante springs into the ring with an elbow strike, and Dante hits a huge lariat right after and boots Griffin off the apron, followed by a mafia kick for a 2 count. Damaris Griffin, however, is able to tag in and knock Guru Raj off the apron. Dante evades a top rope splash here, and Dante is able to counter a charging Griffin with a 2-handed chop attack for the 1-2-3. He's been perfecting this chop attack with both hands at the same time. The winners of the match in their first ever tag match together, Dante Chen and Guru Raj. So we've got a new tag team in the books just after last week when we found out that Jacket Time has been reformed with Jiro and Quincy Elliott. And now we've got a new tag team here, Dante Chen and Guru Raj, who looked very good with the big win over the newer recruits who were the much larger men. So they had to be considered the favorites to win. Great stuff there. Great tag team moves. And like I said, Griffin and Montana do have some good chemistry together as well. They've got some size to them. They've now got like matching outfits. They kind of both look like hitmen, with black gloves, black pants, and stuff like that, sunglasses. So they've kind of got a hitman gimmick going. Maybe they could be brought in for Tony D'Angelo's family or something like that as a fellow gang to fight in this gang warfare against Legado del Fantasma, or maybe the next faction warfare once Tony D'Angelo's done with Legado del Fantasma, or either or. So that could be something we could see in the future. But the tag team division in NXT is definitely heating up with 2 additional tag teams created in the last week of Level Up. Quincy Elliott and Jiro reforming Jacket Time, and now we've got Dante Chen and Guru Raj together with their Southeast Asian connection going on. So that should be good. And now in the back, Arianna Grace, who's going to take on Thea Hale next, has a little promo here. Last time they fought each other, Thea Hale was able to win the match on Level Up. So Arianna Grace, the daughter of Santino Marella, says, "I don't look at the past. Tonight, Thea Hale would be no match for me. As a former beauty queen, it is my duty to uphold the integrity in the world. I will get victory, and today will be the most wonderful day." So we go to an ad break right after that. She said her lines fine, but I really don't understand the character yet, and I don't think maybe she did either. But we find out later on. I after the match, I know exactly what her character is. So After the break, Thea Hale comes out for that match that is now. Thea Hale knows exactly who her character is. It's basically the babyface version of Butch, the small, scrappy dude, let me at him type character. Thea Hale is hyperactive, super cheerful, and her teammate Bodie Hayward in Chase U does not like her because of that. Andre Chase, however, the teacher and leader of Chase U, is fired up by her antics and likes Thea Hale. So Arianna Grace now comes out again rocking the top notch or the top like ponytail that she used before, but I thought maybe she got past that, but nope. The Arianna Grace comes out with the Ariana Grande top knot ponytail. So not a good look if you're trying to just compare yourself to Ariana Grande. It's not going to work out well. Arianna Grace now has the size advantage in this match against Thea Hale, who's very undersized. Thea's only 18 years old as well. So the crowd's 100% behind Thea Hale. Last time we saw Arianna Grace, she was up against Indy Hartwell in a pretty bad match. So let's see if she can improve on that. Thea counters right away and applies a headlock. Arianna Grace then tries to use her power advantage to get out, but Thea uses technique to keep the headlock applied, springing off the ropes with her feet with a nice takedown. So Thea then quickens the pace, letting go of the headlock, and does a big kick, but Arianna counters the next attack and hits a high angle back body drop. That looked devastating on that one. Thea Hale's definitely hurt after that one, so she tries to leave the ring, but Arianna grabs her, keeping Thea in the ring, and now then is able to counter a suplex into a pin. Thea gets a quick pin here for a 2 count. Grace then is able to stay in control after that with a quick kick. Thea's hurting on that one, so the crowd is getting loud for Thea Hale to fight back. Arianna hits a snap suplex. That looked nice for a 2 count. Then applies a clutch while putting her weight on the back of the much smaller Thea Hale. Thea's having trouble escaping due to Arianna's strength advantage, but Thea is able to get to her feet with the much larger Grace on her back, jumping backwards to slam her way out of the hold. And I believe we saw that in their previous match on Level Up as well. So Thea Hale now fires up and hits a few running strikes, then a spinning neck breaker while running. That looked great right after a standing moonsault from the 18-year-old Thea Hale for a 2 count. Great flurry there from the youngster. Arianna is then able to counter the next attack into a roll-up while holding onto the rope. The referee does not notice and calls for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner of the match by pinfall, Arianna Grace. Pretty good match here. Definitely better than their previous match, and definitely a lot better than Arianna Grace versus Indy Hartwell on NXT 2.0. So I don't know if maybe Arianna Grace was feeling nervous being on national TV in that match. It just wasn't a good fit, or maybe Indy is struggling recently and we just can't realize it, because that was yet another bad match. Of course, Indy had her other bad match against Lash Legend, who has proven with a lot of people they can have bad matches with. But we have seen Lash Legend have a good match against Alba Fire just this last week. So maybe Indy is in a little bit of a rut. She has a second chance now that Triple H is taken back over, and maybe Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae come back, giving Indy Hartwell's character a purpose again back in the way. So maybe even on the main roster at that point. So that's something to keep an eye on. But currently, Indy's a little bit down. Arianna Grace showing improvement here, and Thea Hale showing like she's a hot prospect at only 18. Now, they are doing a deal with Thea Hale wrestling and training during going to college full time coming up. I'm sure the semester starts in the next few weeks here. So we might be seeing a little bit less of Thea Hale going forward, who also went on excursion to the UK, NXT UK, just recently as well with the rest of Chase U. So Thea Hale's gotten some good experience in these last 2 or 3 months since her debut, and they used her very well since she's about to be gone in college a lot more. Now, I don't know what the deal's going to be. Maybe they allow Thea Hale to come train every Tuesday, which would allow her to be on either Level Up or NXT 2.0, but we'll just have to wait and see how much maybe we stop seeing as much as Thea Hale in the future, or maybe they'll just tape a lot of things and she won't have matches, but we'll still see her. So something to keep an eye on. Arianna Grace has a good look to her. I would definitely get rid of the top notch because of the fact that you're automatically comparing. You already have the Arianna Grace name, so you already compared yourself to Ariana Grande. Now to rock her same hairstyle just makes you look like a cheap ripoff, which you want to stand out on their own. Now I know maybe some of it is deflect away from the fact that people are already going to say, oh, this is Santino Marella's daughter. I don't see it, or I don't see how they could be related, or they don't have any of the same moves. So maybe to avoid some of that, she is going to do that. So we've seen it with with The Rock's daughter changing her name to Ava Raine. So same thing kind of here with Ariana Grace, wanting you to maybe think of her more as Ariana Grande instead of her father Santino Marella, and that might be a strategic attack. But I would definitely get rid of that top notch. You already got your name is Ariana Grace, similar to Ariana Grande, so don't have the same style on top of it. Anyway, her character is also similar. I now understand what her promo meant earlier. She was talking about upholding integrity and whatnot for being a beauty queen. Basically, Ariana Grace's gimmick is that she just lies about everything, and super selfish, and which is very close to Tiffany Stratton's character, which Tiffany has already mastered that character at a very fast rate. So Ariana Grace is definitely going to have to find something to stand out in this loaded 30 women plus NXT 2.0 women's division. So she's definitely going to have to find something. The thing she has going for her is, of course, her famous father, Santino Marella. She's got good size to her. She's got a good look to her. She just needs to keep showing improvement so that they give her time and time and time and more and more and more. So if you improve slowly, then she'll get more. So it's time for the main event, and we're told is that Xyon Quinn will be in action. So Xyon Quinn comes out to the ring, and I think I saw a jobber or local talent in the ring already. So what the heck's going on? Even if we've seen like jobber matches on Level Up before, but in the main event. So I get a little bit excited once the lights come on off of Xyon Quinn's entrance, and it's Invictus Cash in the ring. We've seen him on AEW Dark many times. He was teaming with Arya Davari before he joined or created the Trustbusters. Ever since then, we have not seen Invictus Cash, but here he is on Level Up, and basically Xyon Quinn gets on the microphone and says, "Today's your lucky day. Get out of the ring. I do not want to fight you." So Invictus Cash leaves. Xyon Quinn has an open challenge, and Quincy Elliott comes out on a moped dancing around. The crowd is as loud as they were all night, maybe even as well later on in the night in NXT 2.0. Quincy Elliott quickly becoming one of the most popular people on the roster. So Quincy Elliott comes out, dances around. He's been continuing to improve, and this will be a big challenge for Xyon Quinn, who's on a bit of a losing streak. Xyon Quinn no longer has the size and strength advantage to the 350-pound Quincy Elliott. So Xyon decides to attack before the bell even rings to try and get control early here. Xyon Quinn tries to get control, but can't. Quincy Elliott battles back, but the superior striking of Xyon Quinn is able to take control. So Quincy battles back with a running attack, catches Xyon with a big strike. We've got a pretty even match here. This should be a good one. Xyon's now in defense mode as he's able to block the next two attacks. Xyon goes back in control with big strikes of his own. The crowd's booing this as he's on attack. Quincy Elliott has stayed on his feet, however, and fires up with a quick dance and a gyration, and Xyon is rocked by some big punches here, but counters with a big strike of his own. This is a slobber knocker. Jim Ross would have liked this one. So as I'm writing that, Xyon Quinn hits one of the nastiest punches of the entire night, including SmackDown, and picks up the 350-pound Elliott right after that with a huge slam. So good show of offense there by Xyon Quinn. But Elliott is able to kick out at 2. Elliott then blocks $1 million dream submission hold attempt, but Xyon gets it on anyway right after with a second attempt. Elliott strikes his way out, quickens the pace now, hitting 2 big running shoulder tackles and a Cesaro running diving European uppercut. That was amazing from the 350-pound man. It reminded me how Viscera used to do those great looking spinning heel kicks, almost even better. It's Quincy Elliott, very athletic for his size. So Elliott then goes up for the top rope splash right after and gets the pin on Xyon Quinn for the 1-2-3. The winner of the match by pinfall, Quincy Elliott. Big upset here. Quincy Elliott has definitely been improving match after match. He does have a little bit more experience than I thought. Some of his other matches in the independents have been showing up on cagematch.net, and he is more experienced than I thought. So I was thinking maybe Quincy Elliott had only had 20 matches, but he's more like 100 matches matches in his career, which is great to see. Quincy Elliott doing great now. He's got a definitely big future in NXT 2.0. He's already the crowd favorite. So imagine when they finally debut Quincy Elliott on NXT 2.0 in some kind of storyline, and the crowd gives them the bigger responses they did tonight. Everybody watching on national TV who doesn't watch Level Up is all of a sudden going to be like, wait a second, who's this big 350-pound guy dancing around with the crowd absolutely loving him? Is he a joke or something? And then the guy gets in the ring and hits some big power moves and like that diving European uppercut that Cesaro used to do. They're going to be like, oh, he can wrestle too. So I can be a fan of your comedy style gimmicks as long as when they get in the ring, they're trying their hardest to win. That's some of the stuff I get upset about with like Orange Cassidy matches, when sure, maybe you can explain it by being mind games with his like fake kicks to the shin, but still it's like, if you're the other guy, just smack him in the face and win the match. Like, he's so much smaller than you on top of it. So Quincy has his size going for him. He has a great character. People love him. He's kind of almost the male version of Willow Nightingale, who's probably the fastest rising female star in the world, with kind of the same like dancing around good time feels, but also vicious and great in the ring, strong in the ring. So Quincy Elliott, kind of the male version of Willow Nightingale, who we've seen do big things as she's been developing in her young career, and I think she's going to be a big star. I think Quincy Elliott has what it takes to be a big star as well. It'll be interesting to see how people take him. I'm think he's openly bi, and he kind of has this flamboyant character. People may immediately compare him to Gold Dust and Viscera, the world's largest love machine version. Especially, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's just another world's largest love machine, Viscera." But Quincy Elliott, is not quite as he's not quite the 400-pound big slow guy that Viscera was. He does have some speed to him at only 350 pounds, something along those lines. So a very athletic guy as well, very charismatic, probably improving with his promos as we go here. I don't know how strong he is on that, but he is improving in the ring. Someone we've seen on the NXT roster for about a year now, going back to when Joe Gacy was trying to include Quincy Elliott in the cruiserweight title, as Joe Gacy's original character just wanted to be all inclusive for everybody. So that's how long Quincy Elliott's been on the roster, and he has not really made any impact on the NXT 2.0 television show on national TV, which is something I'm fine with them doing. I'm fine with NXT treating people like, oh, let's make sure they're absolutely ready. Like, you'll notice that we have not seen The Rock's daughter, Ava Raine, yet. That's an extreme example where they want her to be absolutely ready, because everybody's going to scrutinize her the second she comes through that curtain, comparing her to The Rock, one of the greatest of all time. So this is at a smaller level here, like a Quincy Elliott having a year to develop on the Level Up roster before going on NXT 2.0 on national television. Look what's happened in that year. A year ago, the crowd didn't really care for him that much. Quincy Elliott was slowly but surely, every single match he has, adding a little bit more flamboyance here, or maybe this didn't work this week, so I'm going to try something like this. And then they slowly but surely let Quincy do more and more moves in these matches. And so far, the biggest success story of Level Up is Quincy Elliott. Now we're about, I don't know, 20, 30 episodes of Level Up in, and now Quincy has had maybe 10, 12, 13 matches on them, ready to break out on national TV as a star. The crowd now, a year later, absolutely loves him, and they're going to treat him like a star, and everyone's going to be like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, he's dancing around. Oh, he's good in the ring. So it's going to be this triculation where he's also going to go viral. If he's not already, I'm sure some people have seen him go viral on some of the stuff he's done in Level Up, just the dancing and gyrating around. So he might have gotten his name out there already. Meanwhile, the other person in this match has been on a big losing streak, and I don't know what's going on with Xyon Quinn. He showed some good strength by picking up the big 350-pound man in this match. He's got a good look. His whole gimmick is that he's like, I get it. His gimmick is that he's already assuming he's a star, so he has to eventually work hard to build up to being a star. Xyon Quinn's one of those on again, off again guys that we've seen on TV, national TV, on again, off again throughout the last year. But as soon as Xyon Quinn does something, then he's gone for a few months. And then I know he's had a couple of injury issues, but now he's losing a lot, and I think it's going to turn to maybe a face turn. I don't know, or maybe he'll be gone. Who knows what happens, and who knows with the new regime if Triple H is a Xyon Quinn guy or whoever. but Shawn Michaels is remaining in charge, and Shawn Michaels has been there this whole time. So whatever Shawn Michaels says, I'm pretty sure Triple H is going to follow his lead, being one of his best friends and stuff. So it'll be really interesting to see how both of these guys' careers go in the rest of their career. At this given point in time, it looks like Quincy Elliott, who won the match tonight in upsetting fashion, is on the higher trajectory for becoming a big star. Meanwhile, Xyon Quinn has that high ceiling, but at this point hasn't fully unlocked it. There was a lot of striking in this match from Xyon, so maybe that's part of his problem, is that he hasn't been able to develop his move set yet, or it just is kind of clumsy in the ring. Maybe he's been injuring people. I'm just like putting out, I'm not saying he is, I'm not saying anything like that, but they're giving him time. He's got a good look to him. He looks like a smaller, he's not quite as big as you would think. Like Roman Reigns would dwarf Xyon Quinn, even though they're kind of similar with they got the whole tattoos and I don't think he's Samoan. He might be Maori or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? But what Xyon Quinn does have is he was a big time tackler in rugby in Australia. So Xyon Quinn is a tough guy, is a really good like, you can't get to that high level of rugby without being dedicated to train. So I think given enough time, it looks like, remember everything we heard before Triple H took over was that NXT was going to be on this like 3-month cycle, and if you're not improving in 90 days, that you're going to get released. And that's how we saw all those mass releases in May. Now it's been about 3 months. We haven't seen any more releases. Now instead, Triple H is taking over. I think Bruce Pritchard's kind of out of Shawn Michaels' hair, where before Bruce Pritchard was kind of writing the shows while Shawn Michaels did the Bruce Pritchard was writing the shows away from Orlando while Shawn Michaels was there with them in the Performance Center and the CWC. So I'm going to get going. I've got a lot more to cover, like Rampage and G1 later tonight, but I appreciate you guys. Give a thumbs up and a subscribe. I'm trying to get the word out. It's a very interesting time in wrestling. It's going to be a big free agent spending spree. We just saw it tonight on SmackDown with a new, another rehired person, just like Dakota Kai. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you didn't see it, but go check out my SmackDown review that I just posted. So I'm going to get going. I'll be back up with more later on tonight and tomorrow as well. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.